Amazing.
Conceive, believe, achieve.
That's dangerous, man. Because if you lose to a wrestler or you lose to a jiu-jitsu guy, a lot of times a wrestler might beat you up on the ground. He might ground and pound you, but a jiu-jitsu guy's probably just going to choke you. But a kickboxer is going to slam his chin into your face. You do not want that, man. You do not want that. Worst way to lose. The worst way to lose is to a striker.
Oh.
Did you see this past weekend?
No.
This is the fastest ever knockout in UFC history. This guy, Jorge Masvidal, knocked out this two-time Olympic wrestler, Ben Askren, who's a beast of a wrestler. And they knocked him out in 5 seconds because Askren went to shoot to try to get a hold of his legs, and Masvidal ran at him with a flying knee and hit him right in the face while he was trying to bend forward.
That's legal?
Yeah, oh, shucks, legal. That's it right there. Boom.
Oh.
It's all over the internet. You want to see it?
So, yeah.
It takes 5 seconds. It was one of those things where we watched it and we went, holy, like as it happened. It's definitely on Instagram, but apparently it's getting pulled left and right.
Yeah, of course they're going to try to do that, which is like, that's for everybody.
I don't understand why they wouldn't.
So let everybody have that. It's like, no, we need that. We need to own that commodity.
But it's good for everybody.
It's not how the internet works either. You don't win fans.
Here we go. So this is the beginning of the fight. Ready?
This is round 1?
Yep. Out cold. 5 seconds.
Good call by the ref, though.
Yeah.
Man.
It wasn't even really 5 seconds. He was out cold at 3 seconds. Someone did a time from here, boom, out cold, 3 seconds. And as the referee's running over to him, yeah.
And why is he yelling at him?
They hated each other.
Really?
Yeah, they hated each other. Jorge Masvidal said that guy was taunting him for like 10 years, talking to him, so he couldn't wait to do that to him. Yeah.
Now what?
Well, Ben dusted himself off. He took it like a man. I mean, he really did. He went on a talk show and talked about it afterwards. And
good.
Yeah.
That's how you...
Yeah. He's like, look, it sucks. I don't like losing that guy. He's a douche.
Yeah, right. But they're probably going to end up being somewhat friendly later on down the line.
No.
You don't think so?
No, Masvidal said that if he saw him at Whole Foods, it's not over. He'd still smack him in the face.
Even Whole Foods couldn't hold him back.
Whole Foods can't hold him back. Right in front of the kombucha. The real GT's kombucha, the kind that you need a credit, you get to show your ID to get.
The Jorge Masvidal Ben Askren fight. There's very few times that literally I couldn't even talk. I just covered my face and went, oh my. It was nuts. Stylebender has the best reaction. I felt like everyone was. Have you seen Stylebender's reaction? Cam Hanes posted it on Instagram. It was nuts. By the way, Stylebender, is that Saint Laurent coat, son? That is dope. You dressing like a world-class athlete, son. Looks good.
Wow. Nah. No.
Let me see this again.
He's in the...
That's the fastest knockout in UFC history, right? In UFC history, is it? Nah, bro. I don't, bro. I was like, I got. Oh, the nigga planked. Planking back. Wow. Cuban Jesus just knocked out.
Cuban Jesus. It's street Jesus, bro.
Shit. No, I was like, I gotta get back for this fight. Maybe after the first round, I'll run back. But
that's it,
wow.
though, too. Isn't that great?
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
Raw.
Shout out to Stylebender. Yeah, with that fight, man, I'm trying to think the only other time I felt that way. When Anthony Pettis jumped off the cage and kicked Ben Henderson, I forget how old my son was at the time. It was a while ago. Maybe he was even born. I forget, but I woke the entire house up. Trying to think. Oh, when Ronda got knocked out by Holly. Those are only 3 ones I can remember. I was like, there aren't words in my vocabulary to make sense of it. Like, I'm not smart. My vocabulary isn't extensive enough to make reasoning with my language how great that knockout was. So I just stay silent. That is, I have no issue saying this. I think that Jorge Masvidal knockout of an undefeated Ben Askren is the greatest knockout of all time.
Wow.
And this is why. I know, I at least, the argument here, at least top 3. That's fine, and I'm sure you have your reason for making it second or third, whatever. To me, it's number 1 because the magnitude of the fight and how much trash talk went into this, But you got to remember, Ben Askren, for the longest time, and everybody knows I'm a Ben Askren rider. I love Ben Askren. I still think he can be world champion. I still think he's one of the greatest welterweights on the planet. You got to remember, Ben came over to the UFC from one championship in Bellator, undefeated. No one has figured out that Rubik's Cube. No one has even come close, really. So he's gone into every fight just manhandling everybody. And he's a specialist, kind of like Khabib, but even more so. He won't even entertain the striking with you. So you know that he's going to come in, you're probably going to get wrestled, outclassed for 3 rounds, and it's going to be a nightmare. And he's an Olympian, he's undefeated, and no one's really even close to beating him, right? So he comes over to the UFC. They give him Robbie Lawler first, who's an absolute murderer. And that fight has a little controversy. He gets rocked in that one, but bounces back. The Bulldog choke, all right, fine, I guess. And then you give him Jorge Masvidal. And Masvidal, they trained for this flying knee. So, A, you can't say it was a fluke. A lot of times, the knockouts that you see, they weren't premeditated. It was just the guy, it's repetitions. He sees an opening, takes advantage. You get a head kick. Barboza's spinning wheel kick of Terry Edom, one of the top ones, right? But for the opening round, and this is a record that will never be beat. I don't know how you could beat it.
5 seconds.
They say 5 seconds. That's like 2.
Yeah.
Because it took Homeboy that long to run into the fight. He was even ready. He was so it should have been 2 seconds. Really, should have been 2 seconds. And this is Andrew Schultz's assessment of the fight, and he was like, "You know what's funny to me?" He goes, "That was a funny knockout." I always say there's nothing funny about getting knocked out. Right? I've been there. It's awful. Mm-hmm. So I don't find any of it funny. I think I can appreciate the technique, stuff like that. But when he goes, "That's funny," I was like, "Oh God, here we go." But he goes, "And this is why." He goes, "Don't take offense. What's funny is if Ben Askren to talk all that, they would have shook hands, and this probably would have never happened. So if they were more cordial, they would have shook hands and then fought, and that flying knee would have never happened.
Yeah.
And then Ben probably would have won that fight.
Oh, very interesting.
However, Ben wouldn't even, this is my counter argument to that. Ben wouldn't have been in this position to fight a guy of Jorge Masvidal's skill level or ranking if Ben didn't talk all because he's a boring fighter for most. So the talking got him to the fight, but talking also got him knocked out in the fight. So it's kind of double-edged sword there. That was a bad knockout. The greatest knockout of all time. Premeditated. Matt Brown posted video of him the night before doing it, and then also our boy Dustin Poirier, the Diamond, posted video of them talking about it. So that's why it's the best knockout. The other knockout you got to consider in the top 5, which is also premeditated, but also for a title, was Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo. And there's video of him in the locker room going over the exact sequence of what Aldo's going to do and him knocking him out. That's up there too. But this one, you're talking about an undefeated grappler getting knocked out by a flying knee off the opening bell.
And it was cold. He was out instantly.
Oh, it was no.
Yeah.
And extra shots. You know, I see people complaining like, oh, you got extra few shots in. That's on the ref, man. That's on the ref. I always tell you guys, it's on the ref. People give me shit when I knocked Crow Cop out and extra shots. When you're in there, it's freaking killer mode, man. I hate to use the word killer in there, but it's straight up, it's go time, man. And it's up to the ref to get the guy off. So the ref just has to be quicker. I always say this, ref, you got to be on it, man, or guys are going to get messed up. What a phenomenal fight. This isn't even up for debate. I couldn't even tell you who else is fighting. I don't care. Jorge Masvidal has to fight for the title now. Has to. Rankings do not matter. Interim titles do not matter. What do the people want to see? Everybody and their mama wants to see Jorge Masvidal fight for a title after that. There's nowhere to go from here. You can't give him another contender. Oh, we'll give him the winner of Kobe versus Robbie. No. There's no other fight to make here. Jorge Masvidal is the most talked about guy on this card, more so than John Jones, more so than Amanda Nunes, more so than anybody who fought that night, more so than Jan Blachowicz, Chiesa, Arnold Allen, all the winners. That's fine. John Jones fought, who's probably your biggest star now. Doesn't matter. Jorge Masvidal came out the biggest star of this card, has the best knockout of all time. There's nothing else you can give him. There's no other argument. I don't want to hear it. Interim title, get on my face. Those don't matter. No one cares about those. Rankings, get on my face. That doesn't matter. You're in the entertainment business. UFC owes ESPN ratings. You want the best ratings? You give Jorge Masvidal a title shot. There's nothing else out there. It's all going to be dependent on what's going on with Kamaru Usman's injury. And I don't want to see an interim belt for Jorge. He's been way too long. He's paid his dues. He's fought the who's who. He knocked out Darren Till in England. He's fought the Nightmare in Ben Askren, which is a nightmare matchup for him. I don't want to see anything else. I don't want to hear an argument. He knocked out Don Cerrone, Jake Ellenberger, Ross Pearson. I don't want to see anything else for that man but a title shot. He's leaped that when you have the fastest knockout in UFC history off of running flying knee off an undefeated world-class fighter. And the history of the UFC is, well, the interim belt here and this guy's why are we talking about? That doesn't matter. You're in the business of selling fights. No one is hotter in the UFC, bar none, than Jorge Masvidal right now.
How many times have you watched the knockout?
Seen it a couple times. It's just crazy. People just running up to me, and it's like 5 seconds of their life, my life. So I do it. So we stop and, hey man, I was betting on you. Look what you did. I'm like, I know what I did. But yeah, I've seen it a bunch. This is the one I've seen the most probably of any of my knockouts.
You've almost had 50 professional fights in addition to all the other fights that you've had in your life. Was that the greatest moment of your career thus far?
Nah, not the greatest moment of my career. It was a really good moment because I got to silence a lot of individuals, and one in particular that I didn't like too much, and people were very high on, but this ain't my proudest moments. I've been fighting some animals for a long, long time, Like I said, he doesn't get mentioned to the grandkids of ass whoopings I gave out.
We just spoke to Mike Brown at the beginning of the show, and he told us that it was either you or your coach, your striking coach, Paulino, who came up to him and said, we're going to do this. Do you remember when you came up with the idea that you're going to start the fight like that with the flying knee?
Yeah.
Could you tell us?
Yeah, I remember. Well, I'm like, man, should I give him full?
Yeah, it's full.
On how many? You want the whole thing on how I know that the knee was going to be for a fact this guy couldn't stop it? You want to know how?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of psychology. Now, I can't give up my psychology tips. There's too many fighters watching, man. But listen, the way that he acted in just real life when I get him on the fly, and what I mean by fly is like he's walking and I'm walking and I just pop up on him. The way I habitually popped up on him and made him just freeze up, I knew he couldn't handle improvisation. What's it called when you do it at the moment? Yeah, that word.
Like impulse.
He can't handle changes. And I hit him with a nice little change of speeds. He didn't like it one bit.
So from the moment this fight was announced, you knew that you were going to start that way?
Nah. It wasn't like that. Once it got announced, I was like, yeah, I'm going to beat this guy in 10 minutes. And then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to check him right off the gate and see where he's at. And then when I came here and I saw him in the flesh and I saw how weak he is, actually, because maybe I miss well, whoever helping him now is doing a good job for him, but on the fly, he can't do anything. He can't talk to nobody, especially if it's just me and him, So to have those type of characteristics, you're a person that can adapt and survive, and he showed it.
How many times do you think you drilled that?
I drill my techniques a lot. Every one of my techniques. That's why I have some okay techniques. I drill them a lot, man. That's just all I do. You could ask like Mike Brown. I'm not gonna give out the numbers, but I drill a lot, man. I'm just not gonna give them because they're personal to me.
Okay, fair enough. When you actually start the fight like that and you land it and he gets knocked out cold, can you describe what that feeling is like?
I was just saying to myself, I told you so. Like a lot, because I knew I was going to do it. I wasn't surprised or nothing. I had envisioned it in my head so many times. besides the fact that if I was okay with all scenarios, it could happen. You know, if I missed and he took me down and we scrambled right away, if I just completely missed and he was nowhere near me, if I hit him in the chest and we kept going, I had all the scenarios in my head and I was comfortable with all of them. So I just had to put that guy away and show him he's not in this league. He's not at that level.
What did you say to him after the knockout? It seemed like you were saying something to him. You were slamming your hand on the mat.
First of all, Ariel, I was counting him out. I wasn't just slapping my hand on the mat being ratchet, okay? Don't try to be one of these guys that I went overboard now on him.
No, I didn't say that.
I was pretty damn contained and very, very nice to him, I think, you know? I'm the type of dude, like, man, talk at all times. Back it up whenever you see me in person. Back it up. Bring that talking. You don't have to hit each other or nothing, but bring that talking. And he couldn't do that. Before the fight, during the fight, after the fight. That's how I like to lead people. Without none of that shit talking. Let's just go. Let's just go.
So what did you say to him, though?
Talk that now. Besides, I counted him out.
Right. Amazing.
Yo, guys, this is so awesome. I got some fan mail right here from AJ, 7-year-old. I like your boom roasted video, so I'm going to do it to you. Ben Askren, you talk so much, your tongue is stronger than your arms. Boom roasted.